All right, let's get it going here on YouTube. We got a YouTube exclusive clip, of course, on the Queen of Extremes YouTube channel, the Eyes Up Here YouTube experience. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single time we jump on this YouTube experience, I'm joined by the Queen of Extreme, Francine, this time in audio form. I think the way we are meant to be heard sometimes in audio form. But Queen of Extreme, we got to jump into the studio to discuss a topic we've been getting a lot of requests for. I know you've been getting hit up like crazy. We received some emails about this as well. We've talked about this in the past. We said we would follow up, so this is the promise that we are keeping. The news coming out this week, the sentencing finally happening. We're going to comment on this here. So as we finally get the news, the sentencing of the 17 years for one Tammy Sytch. I welcome you in, and I'm going to just kind of turn it over to you and see what you have to say about this news coming out this week.
Yeah, so happy to be here today at 9:49 a.m. on a Thursday morning. Had to be in audio because the Queen is under the weather today, not feeling well. So Monday, I had a colonoscopy and an endoscopy done. And so when I came back, wasn't feeling that hot, and I planted myself on the couch and I turned on the court hearings. It was on YouTube. I thought more people would be watching, maybe because it was in the middle of the day. I saw maybe it got up to like 600 people were watching, which is a lot, Yeah. But I just thought there would be thousands and thousands of people watching. I know I wanted to watch it. So some takes that I had, because I didn't see the first couple hours. I know it was like a 5-hour live stream. And I think I caught the last 2 hours by the time I got home and got settled. I saw the family. I saw the brother, I believe, and the daughter give their statements about him. And it literally broke my heart because, I just lost my mom like 3 months ago, lost my dad years ago. And when I was listening to them talk, about how close they were and how wonderful of a man he was and all the stuff that he did for not only for his family, but for the community. 75 isn't that old. I mean, you think about it, like older, yes, but not like, on his deathbed. He was healthy. He was vibrant. It sounded like he had so much more to give. And it just made me so upset that this gentleman is just sitting in his car waiting for a light to change and his life ended. And to hear his family give this testimony and these statements, man, I got so upset listening to it. The holidays are here. They're not going to have their dad and their brother and their grandfather and their uncle and their friend. And it's heartbreaking, Yeah. And so listening to them, that got me really, really upset. I wasn't sure because they kept talking about Tammy's mental illness and all these things that were wrong with her, but she didn't have anything to back it up. Like it was just her saying she's going through this. And I think one of the witnesses was like a doctor, but he had just met her a couple months prior. No, they didn't have somebody that was treating her for years to come in and give the testimony and stuff. And I guess there weren't any scripts dating back that could prove that she needed this medicine. So my take was they were trying to, the prosecution was trying to say, she could take, what was it, lithium or something, while she's in jail. She doesn't have to be in a hospital facility to take it. She can be an inmate and take it. I'm just trying to absorb everything. And I was listening, as much as I could. 26 years is a very, very long time. I kind of figured she was going to get credit for the time that she already served. And that's what happened. So 17 years without parole, because in Florida there is no parole, and 8 years probation afterwards, and no license for the rest of her life. Now, she's driven without a license before.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, will that stick? I believe with the time that she already served, it comes to maybe 15 and a half years. So her birthday is coming up in about a week. She'll be 51 years old. Okay. So if you do, she'll be 66 when she gets out of jail. Some people are saying should have got the whole 26. Some people are saying, oh, it's a lot of time served, blah, blah, blah. And you have to put into account somebody died because of this incident. So I hate this because I love her. You know what I mean? And I've said this a million times. I love her, but I hate this person that she's become. I hate it. And, you know, I really don't know what else to say. It's sad for everybody involved, but my heart goes out to the man who died and his family.
Agreed.
That's how I feel. I wish for Tammy this would have been different. Like I said, when we went to WrestleCade in 2021, man, she was awesome. You know, it was the old Tammy. It was just, we didn't drink. There was no alcohol involved. There were no drugs involved. We went out to eat. We watched movies. We were like two teenage girls just hanging out and having a good time. That's the Tammy that I know and love. Not this. I don't even know who this person is. And everybody, you know, was coming at me like, oh, she's a horrible person and she's this and she's that. I didn't see that side of her. That's not the side that I knew and that I hung out with. So everybody attacking me, I'm not justifying what she did. I'm not saying, you know, I'm supporting her and I've said a million times, I am 100% disappointed in this whole scenario. Do I wish there was a different outcome? 100% I do. I think anybody with a heart does, you know, but I'm not giving her a pass. I'm not going to enable her anymore. I can't do that. This is just over the top, crossing the line too much. I wish it didn't happen to her, but the sympathy goes towards the man who died and his family. And I can't stress that enough. So my heart does break for her because her life is pretty much over now. You know, I don't think that there's any chance of her getting out of jail before the 15 and a half years because of the no parole thing in Florida. So I think she's going to serve the full time. From what I understood, from what I looked up, like she's going to be there for a very long time. And hopefully she learns from it. And when she does get out, she can start over and enjoy whatever time she has left on this earth. What else could you say? You know, and if she gets mad at me for saying this, then so be it. Because I'm done enabling. I am done saying it's okay. It's, you know, we got a lot of backlash for the video that we put out with her. You know, when we interviewed her after the last stint in jail before this happened, I got a lot of people who said, how could you sit there and joke with her and you know, put her over and this. Watching that video back, I was very uncomfortable in that situation. And I think you can tell I was trying to make light, not of her DUIs, not of her behavior. I was just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt and say to her, you have another chance. And I honestly believed in that moment that she was going to be okay. I prayed for that. That's what I wanted. I don't like people's downfalls. You know what I mean? Like people laugh at her and make fun of her and ridicule her. I've never done that. I don't want to see somebody fall like that. You know what I mean? Um, I in that video, I don't feel like I was justifying having a DUI because several times I tried to turn it into like, you're never going to do this again. Have you learned your lesson, Tammy? You know, you're smarter than this. If you watch that, I've said that over and over. In private, I've told her this. I've posted text messages that I've told her this. So during that video, before this all happened, I honestly believed that she learned her lesson. And I will still say it. And it's who you run with. It's the people that you hang out with. If you're with good people, good things happen. You need to pick your squad carefully. And she has a tendency to not pick the best suitors. And I've said that before. And if I get heat for it, so be it. You can't argue the fact that that's true. And that's the way I feel. So for all those asking me, there you have it. I don't know what else to say.
I just want to point out two things. The statement from the Florida state attorney labeled her death on wheels. The first time around, it was danger to society.
Death on wheels?
The defendant's history of drinking and driving is horrendous. She was death on wheels. Okay. Wow. It was only a matter of time before her drunk driving killed an innocent and unsuspecting individual. Prior to that, our last video we did, she was labeled danger to society. I'm very surprised she did not get the max. So the 17 years, when I saw that, I was very surprised.
Yeah. Did they say why? Like, why did they shave it down? Did they take her mental state into consideration? Because, again, I didn't get to watch the whole thing. So
I did not see that as well. I did not dive that deep into it. My druthers with the coverage and the host of that I guess pro wrestling podcast that does the news in Florida. I have some critiques for that fella as well, but that I did not dive that deep into it. But those are two labels that I would consider to be getting a max sentence, not the full 26 years. I was surprised.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised as well. I just, what did they take into account to not give her the maximum? That's what I'm curious about. Like, why wasn't it 26 years and then, time served and 24? I mean, whatever, however they figured it out, so be it. That this is what we're, dealing with now. This is what she's dealing with now, I should say. And, if you read the comments, about 95%, well, you made your bed, you lie in it. You do the crime, you do the time. She deserves it, blah, blah, blah. And then you got the 5% who feel bad for her. And then everybody's attacking them because, a man died. Yeah. So it breaks my heart for all parties concerned, devastated. But if I have to, go a certain way, my sympathy is going towards the family of the man who died. And of course, Fran himself, because he just sounded like he was a wonderful human being. And, losing a family member is devastating. And to have to deal with this around the holidays, it's just hard. So I don't know if the family feels like it's a victory or if they're upset because she did not get the maximum time. I don't know. I didn't watch any of the statements. I think they said they were going to try to interview some of the family members afterwards, but I didn't get to see that part. But it's just a very, sad situation. And I don't know. I honestly don't know what else to say. It's devastating. Really is.
I don't want to use this analogy, but unfortunately, this is going to be the never-ending story. But it's almost like, and this is me, so nobody, this is me saying this. It's almost like this is going to be the ongoing, like the Charles Manson in wrestling, right? We're going to be keeping an eye on her in prison now for 16 years. You know, like every time he said something ridiculous in prison, it was reported on. That's what these wrestling journalists now are going to live on. They're going to be keeping an eye on everything that she does for 16 years. So I wish that the story ended here. But now every time she gets a meal and doesn't like it, we're going to hear about it somehow, because whoever's on the inside is going to share it with the wrestling journalists. And
You think there's a stooge in the prison?
oh, it's going to happen. It's absolutely
Is
going
that
to
a
happen.
stooge in the prison?
This is going to happen. No, I'm saying I just wish the story ended here. But it's for the next 16 and a half years, we're going to hear about this. And I would like for it to end now.
So one of the boys, I'm not going to say who, because, you know, but a lot of us were texting back and forth when it happened, right? And one of the guys says to me, well, one of two things are going to happen. She's either going to get a whole new outlook on life and come out of this with a better perspective of living, or she's going to off herself in jail. And
there's one of two things, I guess.
That's the scary part. It's like, you know, because a lot of people end up doing that when they're incarcerated for a very long time. They end up just killing themselves in prison. And you know, that's a scary thought. Yeah, it is heavy, and it's something I don't want to think about. But when he said that to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, does she even have it in her? I don't want her to do that, obviously, but you know, God forbid. It makes my skin crawl. Like it scares me to even think that way. But man, it just didn't have to happen, and that's why I'm so pissed off about it. This outcome did not have to happen, and now isn't there still lawsuits pending against her and the old boyfriend? Like.
So she still, I believe, has charges in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Like, I don't think that this is the Florida side of things.
Yeah. So technically, wait a minute. So she can get out at age 66 and then have to go fight in these other two states?
I believe in my old stomping grounds in Monmouth County, New Jersey, she's still got some issues that she's got to attend to.
That is sick, because then, you know, at 66, could she get sentenced to more prison time? Or jail time?
She can get extradited right out.
Oh my God. I was sent something last night too. There's a civil case against the boyfriend that they still have to deal with. So I don't know if Tammy's involved in that or if it's just him. I don't know. There's so much going on, but if she still has New Jersey and Pennsylvania, I don't know if they do that while she's incarcerated in Florida. Like, it's 3 different states. Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
Do you have to wait till you get out to be sentenced to do? God, what if she has to go to jail in Pennsylvania and then jail in New Jersey? She could be in jail forever. Oh my God. I wasn't even thinking about that, to be honest with you.
Shudder to think. That's scary
gosh.
thought. But
kids, again, be good.
Again, this is something we'll know about this for the next 16 years, because, you know, today's wrestling dirt sheet journalists, quote unquote, they want to explore this kind of stuff now. They want to dive deeper into the news stories. So we're going to know everything she had for breakfast and every person that she talked nasty to or had a beef with. So it's going to happen.
But they do have 30 days to appeal. I don't know what good that's going to do. And I don't even know if that's going to happen. But I think one of the last things I heard the judge say is they have 30 days to appeal. Did you hear that, or did you see that?
I did see that. But I mean, again,
how do you appeal that though?
What do you get coverage of the appeal? That'll be the next wrinkle in the story.
Yeah, and you know, if you do appeal, is there a chance that the punishment gets more severe? Can they change the outcome?
Oh, that I don't know. I'm not a legal.
I don't know either, because I'm not technical like that with the law standing.
The Chadster's legal team is not so up and up right now, so I can't
Okay,
comment.
well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they should just let it lie the way it is. I haven't heard anything if they're thinking about an appeal or not, but it's just very sad situation. So there you go, guys. That's my piece. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's the way I feel, but it sucks. 100% sucks. And I just don't know what else to say.
And we'll leave it at that. So make sure, go back and check out some of the other comments that Francine has shared in the past about this issue. We've covered it from start to finish, essentially, as well as the interview where this was before the incident happened. And Tammy gives basically a kind of a background on what had been going on up to that point. So go check all that out. I'll leave links throughout the video here where people can check it out and give you a little timeline, basically, as it's gone along. Don't forget to like and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. The march to 10,000 subscribers is on. And also join us over on iHeartRadio. Make sure you subscribe over there and get the podcast every single week.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you go to iHeart or when you type in wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you type in Eyes Up Here with Francine, because if you don't put the with Francine, it's not going to come up. There are two podcasts that use the Eyes Up Here name, which I was not aware of when we picked this name. We would have went with something else if we knew. I don't even know if this girl had it years ago when we did it, but anyway, Eyes Up Here with Francine, wherever you get your podcast, and you'll be able to listen to us. And we'd appreciate a follow and a subscription. So.
I believe that's called gimmick infringement.
Well, I don't know who had it first, and I don't know who that girl is or what her genre is, but we're sharing it. So you got to type you have to type my name in if you want to listen to me, and I hope you do, and I appreciate y'all. So thank you.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here for today. We'll catch you next time for the Queen of Extreme. This is the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side.